Hey bunnies, it's your girl Usagi here, back at it again with another video. Yes, welcome to the space. It's been a very long while for the people that are subscribed to me already. But if you're new here, hello, welcome. We do collective readings here and there, and we might add more to our collection. But for now, we're gonna do a quick collective reading and see what spirit has to say to you guys. I'll be using the Light Seers Tarot and the White Sage Tarot, as well as the Hedwig Botanical Oracle. Great decks. But yeah, let's get into it. Okay. Thank you so much, Ancestors and Spirit Guides, for joining the space. What's that we want to pull for our current today? What does our current need to hear? Ooh. Okay. Okay. So we have the Five of Wands. Oh, I always forget. I should definitely change the lighting. There we go. Sorry, my ring light broke, so I'm getting adjusted. But yeah, so we have the Five of Wands. We have Death. Oh, / Rebirth. We have at the bottom there. And we have Seven of Cups, which are bottom deck energy, being the Ace of Swords, followed by the High Priestess, and the Three of Cups. Okay, so your reading is quite interesting. So I feel like there's probably some type of disruption in a relationship that you had. I say had because it seems like it's very past tense. With the Five of Wands, it seems like there was some struggles, maybe with communication, what everybody wanted. Maybe not everybody wanted to break up per se, or like maybe someone was acting like they did, or they acted like they wanted this ending to come in, but that's not quite okay. Sorry. One person wanted the ending to come in. The other person was kind of iffy about it, but they were iffy about it, but they also kind of saw that things kind of had to end, is what I'm getting at. So even though both of you kind of knew it was necessary, there's still a lot of tension, as if people are angry. You know what I mean? But you, the Aquarian who's watching this right now, I part of me feels like you're really mourning this connection. Right, because I'm just feeling a sense of like deep kinship, um, really close, maybe like, but then, sorry, because I'm thinking familial. So even then, yeah, that's the kind of vibe I'm getting. This person was like like family to you. Um, yeah, this person was like family to you. So it felt very strange now to have to kind of let them go and then realize that maybe the relationship that you guys had kind of deteriorated. And even though you thought you were going to have this person in your life forever, maybe you're starting to realize, like, well, this is one of those people that came for a season and not a lifetime. However, I also feel like there are other connections that are around you right now that still need nurturing, that still need watering, that still need your attention. So if you're kind of caught up in mourning one thing, you won't realize that there are certain things that can still be saved, in a sense. But we also have the Seven of Cups. So even I can tell that, right now you're in the death period, in the mourning period. You're having a lot of internal conflict as well as outward conflict. And the Seven of Cups leaves you like, okay, well, now I kind of don't know what to do next. I kind of don't know what to do next. I don't know what I should do. I don't even know if what I did with the situation is the right choice. And we can also look into that as well. to see if this death or this rebirth was necessary, if it needed to happen, and what could come of it in the future. And the Seven of Cups, yeah, we can also check into that too and see a little bit more about why that's there. But I feel like what the Seven of Cups is also saying is like your intuition needs to kind of guide you now. With the Death card, even though you have some thoughts in your head, like, oh, should I have done that? Oh, should I do this? Should I have done that? And you're kind of like looking at all your different options and then what you have in the future now. Like, I'm feeling a lot of racing thoughts. So, sorry if I'm a little jumbled up, but I feel like a lot of racing thoughts are coming in for you. Um, Whatever happened was meant to happen. As one of my friends told me, you were just destined to be the person that you were, and the same thing with this person. Of course, you guys were meant to cross paths, but whatever relationship that you guys had, it had to come to an end, and hopefully throughout the conflict will eventually bring some type of solace. However, with the Ace of Swords and the High Priestess as your biotic energy, along with Three of Cups, I would say too, like, the truth also sets you free. So be honest with yourself about what you really need right now, not just what you want, because what you want can get very conflicting. And that's why the Seven of Cups is here, because there are necessities here, like water, for example, or like the ladders. But then there are like some non-necessities, some risks, some dangers, some things that maybe you shouldn't be doing, but because it might bring some like instant gratification, you might be jumping into it. But I honestly feel like you need to get into a quiet space and listen to yourself for once, instead of trying to block yourself out, is also what I'm getting to. Because like I said, the truth will set you free. And the more honest you are with yourself, the more honest you can be with other people, and the easier it is to utilize your intuition, right? So let's clarify and see why these cards are here. So let's start first with the Five of Wands. Hope I haven't been babbling, my dears. Like I said, your thoughts are just racing. So I'm like, oof, I have to slow down. Or else I'm like have a tongue twister attack. Ooh. Excuse me. Confirmation of birth, that's how true it is. Shout out to my girl Jadina. Anyone who watches her, she's amazing. Anywhoozle, Five of Wands. What does this say, Spirit? Ooh. Okay. So. Okay. So we have the Nine of. Let me lift these for you. We have the Nine of Wands. We also have the Four of Cups and the Page of Pentacles. Both of these two fell in reverse, but we are going to keep them up right for now as we speak. So the Nine of Wands here, I feel like after this conflict, or even during this conflict, you had your guard up real bad. And now after the fact, or maybe even during the fact, like you had your guard up. Like maybe that you were already really riled up about this person. Like maybe there were already some misunderstandings that happened, or like this person was angry with you, so they said a lot of things that they said something to hurt you on purpose, almost, or them to do things like that. So it was a very guarded, uneasy conversation that was had. And now that the conversation is finished, I feel like it drained a lot out of you. And with the Four of Cups, I feel like there's a sense of apathy, especially if it was in reverse. So it's like I'm so empty now from feeling so much about this one thing. I actually don't really have anything left, I think it's very interesting how, and it's the first time I'm ever seeing it, but these cups are pouring into this one, but this cup is still empty, So I feel like whatever situation was more draining than it was filling. And I think the most important question right now concerns relationship that you are currently being forced to let go of is also the idea I'm getting. Like, how often do conversations with that person feel? You know what I mean? And what are they bringing up for you? at the end of the day, because people trigger people all the time. It just cannot be helped. And it's because of our past, we are easily triggered. So, what about your past hasn't been healed? And that's why, you're having these conflicts on the inside and on the outside. I feel like if you have been bored, and if you don't like your job and like your life has been pretty mundane lately, um, I'm getting the sense, even with friends around, I feel really empty. Sense that Four of Cups again. Like you're surrounded by people, but you still feel so empty. Um, I think you just need to find something that you're really interested in. Find something tangible, something that you'll put your hands on and keep yourself busy. This can be studying, because we have the Page of Pentacles. This can be creating something. This can be cooking. This can be so many different things that involve the home, even. So maybe you want to redecorate your house. You want to start thinking about how you want to rewrite your room, to start throwing away things you don't even need anymore. Like this Page of Pentacles is just, it needs you to move. Like it needs you to start, like I said, organizing your space. It's time for new things to come in, so old things have to come out. So with Six of Swords being the bottom deck energy, I kind of understand that now. Like I understand where that energy is coming from. Like this Page of Pentacles is saying, I know we don't want to move on because it was easier to stay in something comfortable. However, we have to move on. And it'll be easier to move on if we start to clean up our space. Clean up our space will help empty our minds. You know what I mean? Help us reflect in a healthy light. And also just like maybe writing, like cooking, putting healthy foods in your body, just revisiting the self in so many different ways. And like I said, getting something tangible to work on, and probably tangible in the sense where it's like looking for a new job, or just doing something that you do, like a passion project, like something that could be a job, but maybe you're not a professional yet, or you need more practice in it. So maybe you need to look up classes in it, things like that. So there's so many different things Spirit wants you to pour your energy into, but Spirit's saying like this situation, if you already felt like you were guarded, it's making you even more so. So I honestly feel like it's time, to just give things a bit of a break. So what is the Death card about? Interesting. Oh, wow. Sorry, it was a beautiful card, so that's my reaction. So we have the Six of Wands. We have the Queen of Cups. We have the World. Your bottom deck energy is the Ace of Cups, followed by the Four of Wands and the Nine of Cups. So right now, and maybe for quite some time, things are going to feel kind of shitty, because like I said, you're mourning something and mourning something and mourning something. And it's like, ugh, like, oh my gosh, when is this pain going to end? But honestly, my dearest Aquarian, with the Six of Wands coming out, this, like I said, it was meant to end, and it was meant to end because whatever it was holding you back from success. So even though it feels shitty for you, Spirit is saying success. This is finally over. Like, I know there were some things that you were clinging to when it came to it. I understand there were some benefits. I understand you really love this person. You really cared about this job. You really cared about this thing. But honestly, now that it's gone, thank God. Thank God, honestly, like, and you start to realize the more you release the unnecessary nostalgia is what I'm getting to. Because like I said, you weren't truly full in this connection. There was always a problem. And a part of me feels I'm getting a job too. So this has to do with a job as well. Like you were never full in this situation ever. But you kept tolerating it because at the end of the day, it brought in a paycheck, right? Or it brought in sex at the end of the day, or someone to cuddle at the end of the day, or this person had like a car or a nice house or something that I can go relax in. Like there were benefits to being in the situation. However, it still wasn't filling you, right? So Spirit's saying at the end of the day, the Six of Wands, this is great. Like it may feel shitty now, but if you lost this job, this person is this thing, but this is wonderful. You didn't need it anymore. And with the Queen of Cups, I do feel like there's an energy around you that wants to care for you, or there's an energy that Spirit's asking you to embody when it comes to self care. Because I feel like, and this is maybe for specific people. I don't know if I said this in the beginning, but take what resonates, okay? But for some people, this is like there's somebody outside of all of this that wants to show you love, affection, care. They want to nurture you, is what I'm really and truly feeling. And it feels really like gushy. That's why I have to say it too, because self care don't feel like love. And I feel like this person sees that your cup is empty and they want to fill it versus, like, I guess, taking from it. Like, they want to put real substance in it. Um, and they're so friendly. Look, hello. But this could also be a sign for you too. Like, if you been looking at this like it's a defeat, it is not a defeat. If anything, this is a perfect time for self-care, to nurture the relationships around you. You know what I mean? Nurture the people that value you and things like that. Nurture the parts of yourself that you value, and really get into your emotions, because like I said, right now I feel like you're kind of like fighting yourself. You having these inner conflicts, like you have to stay strong in order to get over this. But honestly, you need to cry it out. Like, you need to really get into your feelings and get it all out, so you're not constantly thinking and repeating things over and over again. And you can really clear your energy and realize, like, oh shit, this cycle was meant to end. And ta-da, look, see, the world. This cycle was meant to end. This relationship, the situation, this job, it was meant to come to an end. So if you feel like you've been fighting for things to be better in your life, well, guess what? You can stop fighting now. Now is the perfect time for you to rest. And with the Ace of Cups, like I said, if it was a relationship, new love is already going to come on the way, or there are just people in your life that really, really care about you. Four of Wands, this also speaks to a new love as well, marriage, a new commitment, but just something combined with this and the other water cards, it really feels like something more pure and more healthy for you, right? Nine of Cups talks about satisfaction, temperance, Empress, yeah. There's a lot of things coming in to kind of like balance out your energy. So if this person has been kind of like taking, this other person, this other situation, something new that's coming in for you, or the people in your life, or even the steps that you take, they're just meant to refill you. You know what I mean? So the next time you start to cry and feel really upset about the situation, or the next time you try to hold it all back, don't hold back. Let it out. And then remember, like, this was meant to happen. This was meant to end. And ultimately, this is good. Like, even though I was very, very confused as to what to do, this is actually the best thing to do. So if this was the best choice, Spirit, if this ending was necessary, then what can we do? Like, what's next for this person? Because the Seven of Cups is showing me that this person just doesn't know what's next for them, you know? Now that this is ended, now that this is over, what comes next, right? So what is this person supposed to do now? Spirit, what is this advice with the Seven of Cups? Mm. I heard the words, buck up, kiddo. No, because the star came in reverse, and we also had the death at the bottom here as it fell out. And you know me, I now you're getting to know me. I put it right upright, but I heard the words "buck up, kiddo." So yet again, if you've been like beating yourself up or like mourning the situation, a situation that you kind of knew needed to end, I think you need to stop like choosing to suffer. Was what I'm gonna say, or stop like beating yourself up. There's nothing you could have done better. There's nothing you could have done better for a situation that wasn't good for you from the start. And maybe just romantically. Like I said, some things end just for new things to begin, and maybe even to be reborn. But maybe you and this person just need some time. You know what I mean? But ultimately, sorry, let's continue. And let me just finish clarifying. Okay. So Spirit is like, because we have the Five of Pentacles as your bottom deck energy. But then we also have the stars I showed you earlier, the Six of Swords coming up again, and then the Ace of Pentacles. Sorry. You can see it? There we go. Yeah. So, like I said, buck up, kiddo. Spirit is like, I know you're feeling really lost and confused right now, and it makes so much sense because I feel like you've dedicated so much time and energy to this person, this place, this thing, and it has really let you down. And if anything, you kind of feel almost abandoned by it. So it's like I said, even though you knew it was necessary for this thing to end, it doesn't make it any easier for it to end. You feel me? But spirits, like I said, spirits like buck up, kiddo. Look up at the stars. You know what I mean? Go to a park or something at night and look up at the stars, bro. Like, there's so much beauty in the world to still enjoy. And there's so much love in your other connections that you can be nurturing, but you're kind of missing out on them because you're mourning something that you knew had to end, you know? So that's why the Six of Swords came up again. You know, Spirit is asking you to please don't force yourself to move on, but understand that it's time to move on, is what I'm going to say. Because everybody moves on their own pace, in their own way. You know what I mean? I can't expect you to see this reading and all of a sudden be like, you know what? I'm totally over it. Like, no, of course not. You know? But hopefully understanding that this was a good thing and that underneath this Five of Pentacles is the Fool. So that means new things are coming your way, you know? But that door opening for new won't be there if you don't come out of your dump and start looking at the world around you. You also have Ace of Pentacles. So there might be a new job coming in for you, new money or financial opportunities coming in for you. Um what was I going to say? More stability. I was going to say too. I feel like even though once you start to heal and you start to clean up, like I told you, right? Make sure you clean up that house. Um, Once you do those things, you're gonna realize like, oh, okay, this actually, I, I'm actually a lot more stable this way. Like now that I'm not mourning something that couldn't have lasted, I feel a lot more stable. Like I'm no longer actually responsible for this person's stuff or this person's feelings or this job title that I had where I had all this extra work that I didn't even feel like doing, but I did it. You know what I mean? Or not, or feeling underappreciated, or like feeling like you didn't exist. I get those feelings too. Like this person or this job or situation, sometimes it made you feel like you didn't exist. Like I said, maybe at one point the situation was really satisfying you. I even hear like this person knew all my favorite things, but then it seems like they just forgot. They forgot who I was. That's what I'm also hearing. That's what I'm hearing as well. So yeah, you really need some time to remember, you know. Um, Something also tells me that this was a friendship turned relationship. So that's also pretty interesting. Um, but I also feel like this connection is probably not over. Like it's probably over in terms of like the cycles needed to be ended, but maybe there's a chance for reconnection. I don't know if it's romantic or not. Um, but there could be. But for now, let's focus on it's over. So that way we can move on. And if you're open minded enough to live in both worlds where it's like it could happen, it can't happen, then excuse me, I fully recommend you live in the world of duality. You know what I mean? Maybe it could, maybe it can't. But either way, I'll be okay. And that is the rule of duality for me. So let's do the oracle cards, end off this reading. Thank you so much, spirit guides. You guys have done amazing. I've been feeling like this cold breeze in my body, all these goosebumps. So I know it's resonating with somebody. And I'm really glad they're tuning in. Oh my god. Okay. Oh, whoops. That's a lot of cards. I'll just get one more, please. Yeah, so Because of your bottom deck energy, I feel like Spirit really wants you to know, like, you can get through this. I know it seems really hard right now because losing someone, something, like I said, even a job, no matter how much you hated it, fucking stings. Like, nobody wants to lose anything, especially when you didn't get a chance to take real authority and do it yourself. You know what I mean? um, so depending on, people's situations, because I know that take whatever resonates. Because some people might not have ended it, but I also feel like, someone else had to do it. Even though you agreed to it, it's still like, ugh, I wish I was the first one to say it sometimes, kind of thing. But, anyways, we have service, we have enhance, and we have purify. And your bottom deck is abundance, followed by strength, adversity, tenacity. That's why I'm like, Spirit believes in you. So, anywho, so I'm going to read from the book as I do, and I'll talk about how it goes with your cards, right? This, sorry, heard notification. This book has a lot of words, so I'm going to just find the message for you. We're going to start with service, which is garlic. So I'm probably going to do this part right here. So all parts of this plant are edible and useful, hence the oracle property service. Yeah. Many oracle properties are about finding or marshaling things about yourself that are most unique and special. But this card urges service in a less specific way. Volunteer to walk dogs at an animal shelter, pick up litter, buy someone coffee, go the extra mile to make life easier for someone close to you. Bear's garlic is a common, ubiquitous plant. It will never be praised for remarkable blossoms or monetary value, nor will it ever climb above the forest floor. Its value is in its simple usefulness and the way it the way it nourishes so many animals, and it is a delight to foragers. We often focus on how to be remarkable, special, and praiseworthy, but it is always worthwhile to simply lend a hand when needed or offer a smile or a kind word. These actions can lead to a friendship and new opportunities. It can also take us outside of our own heads for a little while. Sometimes that is exactly what we need. Wow. So I really do feel like that service card connected very closely to your Queen of Cups we spoke about earlier. Just nurturing yourself, the qualities that you have and what makes you special to you, no one else. But also nurturing your connections, because there are people that really see special things about you and that want you around, not just because there are things that they can have, from you, or they can use you for. They literally just want you around. If you've been feeling really shitty, sometimes doing something kind for someone else can fill your cup. Because whether you get a thank you or not, sometimes it's really nice to just do something nice for somebody else. Right? So I'm already passing abundance in the book, so I'm going to go ahead and read that one now. So the oracle property of the hollyhock is abundance. Aside from being a lovely ornamental plant with many human applications, hollyhocks provide food and shelter to hummingbirds, beetles, and moths. It is a favorite flower of several species of butterfly. Abundance is a word we often associate with monetary wealth or physical possessions, but abundance is better measured by including health, friends, happiness, and well-being in our assessments. Embracing abundance isn't an exercise in accumulation, but rather a willingness to live gratefully and with open arms. Like the hollyhock, we may find our place in the garden by being a blessing to others. Accept the things you have in your life rather than focusing on things you don't. And look at the many ways you can be of service to your community. Living with gratitude and open arms will attract others to you and provide opportunities for others to see your value. In the Victorian language of flowers, hollyhocks are associated with fecundity and the bonds of love, much like the Empress or the Queen of Pentacles from the Tarot. The hollyhock is traditionally planted in a witch's garden to bring abundance and fecundity, and is strongly related to the pagan holiday Lammas, which celebrates harvest season and expresses gratitude to nature for her generous gifts. Oof, my hand. Sorry, ignore that part. I hurt my hand, so this hand's kind of messed up. But yeah, that was actually really beautiful. Because yet again, it connects back to that service card, your Queen of Pentacles, and like understanding that there are people around you that they're to be grateful for. So even though this one situation, this one job, this one opportunity, this one person didn't work out or didn't go the way you have planned or may not be in your life for as long as you wanted them to, or whatever the case may be, there is still so many connections and abundance that's surrounding you right now. And they're not going to leave you or anything like that if you, I guess, brood some more. But you're just gonna miss out on life, and you're gonna miss out on the love that they want to give to you, and how good it feels to give that love back to them. You know. So yeah, let's go to Indigo. Indigo's next, which is Enhance. I seen it. I seen it. Okay, cool. So I'm just gonna skip a little bit. We're gonna go here. Indigo's virtue as a coloring agent leads us to the oracle property Enhance. Oh, because they were saying earlier that at, at one point all denim was dyed by the flower indigo. Anywho, we are often inclined to discard or reject things that are less exciting or remarkable than we would like. Even when judging ourselves, we tend to only value what is most special, often ignoring the solid, steadfast characteristics that make us functional and of value in our communities. Shifting your perspective or routine can bring new life to relationships, situations, and thought patterns. Before discarding something, try changing the way you think about it. Simple changes can make a world of difference when you are in a funk or feeling creatively blocked. Maybe that means a new coat of paint, an out of the ordinary date night, or something as simple as tidying up and setting out a vase of flowers. So Spirit is basically saying like you have all the tools right now to enhance your life. But it seems like, and what seems to be also be a pattern here is that you don't feel very special, or you need someone else to make you feel special. And that's probably why Spirit was like, this needs to end. Because one, this person didn't make you feel special, and two, it just wasn't helping. Like, you don't feel any more special, do you? After leaving, like when you were in it, when you were outside of it, you didn't feel more special. You didn't feel more loved, more anything. You know what I mean? Your cup was still empty. So that has more to do with what you can give to you versus what other people can give to you. You know what I mean? And that's why it's better to act out of love when it comes to giving service to people that you really care about, because it'll feel good to see the people you care about smile. You know what I mean? And like I said, new things are on the horizon for you too. So be very open, and try something new yourself. If someone doesn't bring it to you, bring it to them, kind of thing. Yeah, so let's look at Sage, which says Purify. So Purify is the oracle property of this card, as Sage has been used since ancient times for warding off evil, cleansing spaces, and banishing negative energy. Smudging, the burnings of sage bundles, most commonly white sage, is a practice done to clear and rebalance the essential energy of a person or place. Some people relate this herb to the Hierophant in a tarot deck, but I think it is a better companion to the Page of Wands and its fresh approach to the world. We are urged to try new things or welcome new people into our life. The Eight of Pentacles also speaks of clarity and focus, specifically concerning our work or craft. The clearing, purifying energy of Sage is a powerful tool for anyone trying to focus or start anew. So yeah, so like I said, new things are coming for you, my dear Square. So be very open to those things. Understand that what you have lost is not really a loss. You have gained you have gained experience from this situation, whatever it may be. Whether it's a life skill or a relationship skill, you now have a tool. And look, I'm getting so many goosebumps. I don't know if I can see it, but I'm getting all this whole reading. I've been getting goosebumps for you guys. Yeah, you gained something from this, so you didn't walk away losing anything. If anything, like I said, this connection, this job, this source, it needed to finito, so that way you can kind of see how much value that you bring into the world on your own, not because someone else is telling you that you're special, not because you're only picking apart the parts of you that are perfect, no, but because you're accepting every part of you, and remembering there are people around you in your community and like in your interpersonal life that really want to hold you and want to be held by you. So try to make space for the people that actually want your attention, is what I'm going to say, especially if they want it in a very healthy way, right? So that is your reading, my dear Aquarian. Thank you so much for stopping by. I honestly think your reading was really beautiful. Like I said, it gave me goosebumps all the way through. I'm still goosebumped out. So I can already tell like great things on the horizon for you, and I'm really, really excited for you, okay? Let love in. I love you, right? Tell yourself that you love yourself at the end of this. But yeah. Hope you have a great day. Um if you ever want to pick up any of my other readings, please feel free to follow me on YouTube, on Instagram. I think I have a TikTok. We'll see about that. Um, yeah, and put on the little notifications to know when I post. But like I said, please have a great day. Stay blessed. Ashe, ashe, ashe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.